a war of tanks, machine guns, and bombers, one man showed up with a longbow, a broadsword, and a set of bagpipes, and somehow became a legend. World War II was a brutal clash of modern machinery, but Major John Malcolm Thorpe Fleming Churchill, or Mad Jack to his mates, didn't seem to get that memo. Jack was born in British Ceylon, or modern-day Sri Lanka, in 1906. Educated back in the UK before training at Britain's elite officer academy, the Royal Military College at Sandhurst, he was never destined to be your average soldier, but there was always something about Jack that didn't quite fit the mould. Before the war, he was a championship archer, a motorcycle enthusiast, and a bit of a showman. The kind of bloke who once rode a motorbike across India just to see what was on the other side. So when the world fell into chaos in 1939, Mad Jack didn't just show up. He rode in like a knight from another century, answering the call not with bullets and bombs, but with a bow, a blade, and a battle cry from another age. Picture this. It's France, 1940. The British Expeditionary Force is retreating under heavy Nazi fire. The French hillsides are a mosaic of chaos, dust, and gunfire. And then there's Mad Jack, calmly drawing his longbow, yes, a longbow, and firing an arrow straight through a German soldier's chest. It's believed to be the last confirmed kill by bow in modern warfare, and that was just the start. Jack led commando raids across Europe armed with a Scottish broadsword, which he carried not as a gimmick, but because, in his own words, any officer who goes into action without his sword is improperly dressed. He'd charge into battle with his blade raised and a grin that made you question if he was the bravest man on the battlefield or the most insane. In 1941, Mad Jack led a raid on a Nazi garrison in Norway. Night fell, the wind howled. Jack raised his pipes and played March of the Cameron Men into the blackness, a war cry that chilled his enemies and rallied his men. And then out came the sword. He stormed the position, blade in hand, and captured 42 German soldiers with the help of just 6 commandos. He didn't just fight battles, he staged them. Because to Mad Jack, combat wasn't so much survival as it was performance art, and he wasn't just in the scene, he was the scene. But not even Mad Jack was invincible. In 1944, during a mission in Yugoslavia, a mortar shell exploded nearby, killing his comrades and knocking Jack unconscious. He was captured and sent to the Sachsenhausen concentration camp in Germany. Some might have given up, but not Jack. Jack escaped. Twice. The first time he was recaptured near the Baltic Sea and sent back to camp. The second time he slipped out under the cover of darkness and ended up walking 150 miles through enemy territory, living off scraps and luck until he reached American lines. By the time the Germans realized what had happened, Mad Jack was a distant memory. After the war, most men would have figured they'd done enough for Queen and country and shifted focus to rejoining normal life. But not Jack. Jack joined the army again, this time in British-occupied Palestine, and took the fight to the rebels there, still rocking his sword like it was standard issue. He later took up surfing, became a male model, worked as a movie extra, and played bagpipes barefoot on Australian beaches. And whenever he was asked about his time in the war, would simply shrug and remark that if it wasn't for those damn Yanks, I could have kept the war going another 10 years. Mad Jack Churchill was a human time machine, the stuff of legend, a medieval warrior who was dropped into a modern war and somehow thrived. And above all that, he was proof that sometimes, when the world loses its mind, it's the madmen who are able to rise above the chaos and put the world to rights. For more epic tales from the War Stories archive, hit that subscribe button to enlist today. Then, pick one of the stories on screen to select your next mission. Over and out, soldier.